Noon or evening, depending on where you are in the world. Um, my name's Robert Slusarenko. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Um, let's see, make sure all my tech stuff is working. All right, I think we're good to go. So, educators first. First things first, I want to express my gratitude and thanks for the hosts of this group, Mallory and Anna. What a wonderful presentation you guys are doing. Offering support to educators is such an essential component that's necessary in our world today. And I'm really happy to be here. Hopefully, over the course of our time together, we'll have the chance to share some techniques about being able to manage your emotional state. If you're watching this around the time it's being produced, it's mid-December. The holiday season is in full swing. Now, of course, the holiday season is a little different this year, at least in my neck of the woods. 2020 has been quite a challenge, and I can only imagine what it's been like in the education sector. In the realm that I'm coming from, I work in a substance abuse treatment center. I'm also the host of a online community called Soul Life Revival, where we look at how to use expanded states of consciousness to enhance our quality of life. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, but if you're anything like me, this year has had so many challenges. Global pandemic, election year, missing friends and family. In the substance abuse treatment center I'm at, I see people day in and day out that are just riddled with stress, overwhelmed with anxiety. And quite frankly, in the 11 years that I've been in this office, a lot of the people who walk through that door over there are caretakers. Two of the biggest populations of individuals that I see coming in for substance abuse treatment are nurses and teachers. People who are supporting and encouraging others. And oftentimes in the pursuit of supporting and empowering others, they forget to take care of themselves. Perhaps you are aware of that phenomena, giving and forgetting to refill your own cup. Little background about myself. My name is Robert Slusarenko. Like I said, I'm a practicing hypnotherapist. And I got into this field primarily because of my early life experience in my late teens, early 20s as a practicing Hindu monk. I lived as a monk for about 6 years, diligently doing yoga and meditation on a daily basis. And once I decided that that lifestyle wasn't for me long term, went back to school, got my undergraduate degree in psychology, and heard about the phenomena of hypnosis. Became extremely fascinated, always fascinated in the workings of the mind. And I saw that discipline as a way to bridge the gap from the meditation work that I was doing as a monk into a more secular application. So I studied hypnotherapy and I've been practicing ever since. The realm of the mind, the ability to control and create new outcomes, is such a fascinating field. The workings of the mind and the way to harness its potential. What I'd like to do today is a surgical strike. Come in and share a specific intervention to be able to manage your emotions, to access a positive emotional state. It's called state shifting, anchoring, and this is one of the most deceptively simple but most utilized techniques that I've been trained in over the course of my career. So hopefully you'll be able to apply it not only in your own life, but maybe in the lives of those who you support and help, your students and such. Like I said, it's a very simple technique, And you may even have some experience with it in other contexts. So let's dive right into this idea of state shifting, emotional regulation, being able to alter or enhance your state of mind. Just to go back for a moment, in the substance abuse treatment realm that I'm steeped in, one of the biggest components that kind of feeds into that destructive behavior is that people are trying desperately to feel better. They're trying to manage their emotional state. And rather than engaging in genuine self-care strategies, they turn to substances. The substance use becomes a surrogate for genuine self-care. People are stressed out, burnt out, coming home at the end of the day thinking, I just need a glass of wine or four. And over time, that can become quite problematic. So finding different ways of actually taking care of oneself, it's essential. It's essential for everyone. What to speak of if your role is to support and empower others? You can't draw from an empty well. So being able to replenish your own resources, being able to access positive emotional states and share those with the people you're supporting, I'd say it's a key component. So let's get into what this technique consists of. And if you're watching this live, hopefully you'll have the chance to practice this a bit. This technique absolutely will work. That's a very strong statement to make, very bold statement to make. And the only reason I can make that statement is because it already works in all of our lives. This technique, state shifting or anchoring, it's really based on classical conditioning. I assume everyone in this group is familiar with classical conditioning, Pavlovian conditioning. It's a square component of education, quite frankly. You're driving down the road, and all of a sudden, there's this thing that's hanging over the street, and it turns red. What do? Hopefully you said stop. You don't have to consider what that means. You've been conditioned to naturally move your foot from the gas to the brake when you see a red light. Now, a yellow light, that's a little more subjective. That might mean slow down. That might mean speed up. It all depends. Red means stop. Green means go. Now, the color of a light doesn't intrinsically mean anything. But it does now, because we've become conditioned. Exactly. Red means stop, Mallory. Thank you. We've been conditioned to recognize that these lights, these colors, mean something. They have no intrinsic meaning. The light turns red, you drive through the intersection, and even though no one does this anymore, let's say you're flipping through the radio, and all of a sudden, a song comes on. A song that was popular when you were in high school. And it takes you back to that one time, at that one place, with that one person. Do you guys know that song? Song's different from all of us, but what's happening there? The song is a trigger, and it's eliciting a stroll down memory lane. And on, all throughout our day, we are responding to different stimuli that's been conditioned over time. And most of those conditioned responses have been installed completely unconsciously. Unbeknownst to us, we've taken on board all of these different behaviors, meanings, and interpretations. What we're going to do today is learn how to install a specific conditioned response to build a relaxation response so that you're able to effectively shift states from a nervous, anxious state to one that has more relaxation present. So again, the technique is deceptively simple. We're going to go through the steps, and hopefully you're able to take this on board, practice this on your own. This technique does take some reinforcement. Just like Pavlovian conditioning. It doesn't happen, it's not a one-off thing. It happens over time with some conditioning cycles. So we're going to begin that cycle today. The technique is as follows. First of all, I'd like you to choose a neutral gesture. Let me give you an example. My personal relaxation anchor, I use these 3 fingers, I hold them together, and what begins to occur is I start to feel more at ease. Not like I'm going to fall asleep or melt into a puddle on the ground, but it begins to take the edge off, and I start to feel more calm. The reason why that works is because for the last 15 years, every time I make this gesture, it means start relaxing. And the way I installed that tool is the exact same method that we're going to go over right now. So the first thing is to pick a neutral gesture. If this means nothing to you, by all means, you can steal it. You can really do anything. I often encourage people to use a hand gesture, something you can do inconspicuously, maybe putting the thumb between the webbing of your other fingers, making the circular motion in the palm of your hand. It has like a soothing vibe to it. Doesn't really matter what it is, as long as it has no meaning yet. Once you've picked that neutral gesture, we then want to work on accessing a relaxed state. There's different ways of doing this, but one of the most effective ways is literally just remembering a time in your life when you felt calm and at ease. So perhaps, if you're willing, don't do this while you're driving, of course, but sit back, allow your eyes to close, and begin to go through your memory bank, searching for a time in your life when you felt calm and at ease. Doesn't matter whether it was 10 minutes ago or 10 years ago. Allow yourself to access that memory in as much detail as possible. Notice what you remember seeing. The sounds you remember hearing. See what you saw. Hear what you heard. Until most importantly, you're able to feel some of that corresponding relaxation that was present at that moment. Take some time to enjoy remembering that time and place. And as soon as you do start relaxing, make that gesture. Begin to link those together. This gesture means relax now. Wherever you happen to be in that process, go ahead and let go of the gesture, let go of the memory. If you close your eyes, allow your eyes to open. That's it. You see what we're going for here, right? We're building a conditioned response, accessing a relaxing memory to the extent that you begin to feel relaxation. When you begin to feel that relaxation, you make that gesture. And you do it again, and again, and again. Wash, rinse, repeat. The thing about this technique is it does take some conditioning cycles, and I wish I could give you a magic number. You know, do this 12.5 times and you'll have a conditioned response. I would recommend doing this at least several dozen times. Taking some opportunity over the next few days to really work on building this conditioned response. Like I said, there's a few ways of doing this. One of the ways is just how I demonstrated. Go back into a relaxing memory, access that relaxed state, link it to the gesture. There's a more naturalistic way of doing this as well. It's the holiday season. Perhaps you have some opportunities to connect with relaxation. I don't know, over the next few days. You're sitting by the fire, perhaps, and all of a sudden you recognize, hey, I feel relaxed right now. Just make the gesture. It doesn't really matter how you get to that state. You just want to link it with your state shifting tool, with your anchor. So those things become associated. This is a very easy technique to test. Once you've done the conditioning cycles, like I said, a few dozen times, you simply make the gesture. You don't have to go back to Hawaii in your mind. And if you start to feel the corresponding relaxation, you're golden. You have a conditioned response. If you don't, all that means is you need more repetition, more conditioning. Like I said a while ago, this technique, as deceptively simple as it seems, it has been one of the most utilized techniques in my practice over the years. People struggling with substance use disorders primarily, they're looking to change the way they feel. They're just going about it in unhealthy and unsustainable ways. Taking a technique like this on board can give you more control over your emotional state. I have 2 daughters, and this is a fun game that we play together, teaching them how to state shift so that they can access. My older daughter, she likes to go to a fairyland to relax. So anytime she pushes her fingers together, she feels that calm relaxation that the fairyland provides for her. And it helps her when she's becoming overwhelmed, stressed out, especially in light of recent events this year, um, being home more often than not getting to see as many friends as they're used to seeing, doing a lot of online connecting and online learning, it gets frustrating. Being able to regulate their own emotions, I feel like it's been one of the greatest gifts that I've received and one of the greatest gifts that I've been able to share with my daughters and with the people I have the privilege to work with. So hopefully you can take this on board and don't just take my word for it. Put it into practice in your life. See how applicable it may be. Truth be told, even if you don't do it in the way that I just shared, you're already doing things similar to this technique. For example, you're thinking about working out, but lo and behold, you're not feeling up to it, the motivation's low, you're feeling tired. So what do? You put on your earbuds and you play lullabies, right? No. You have a song or a playlist whose job it is to elicit a motivated, pumped up state. And then you hit the gym. You're going in for a job interview. You pick the clothing that is going to elicit in you the most confidence and that's going to reflect the position that you're looking to fill. All day long, subtly and not so subtly, we are attempting to engage in behaviors that shift our emotional state. Becoming more aware and conscious of how we're doing that, making that work for us, I'd say it's a pretty cool gift. So take it on board, see what happens. My proposition is over the next few days, carve out some time, 5-10 minutes perhaps, in a place where you won't be disturbed. Go back into a relaxing memory. Maybe even listen to some soothing music. Whatever it takes to get into a calm state. Once you've accessed that calm state, make that gesture. Hold the 2 together. Wash, rinse, repeat. Let go of the gesture, open the eyes, and then do it again. Do it several times. If you just catch yourself relaxing, make the gesture. Reinforcing that relationship. This gesture means relax now. I really look forward to hearing about how this strategy may be applicable in your life. Give it a test drive over the next few days. I will be back here on Thursday, and hopefully we can review some of this and take this one step further. Again, my name is Robert Slusarenko. I am the proprietor of an online community called Soul Life Revival, where we discuss techniques such as this, really looking at enhancing one's quality of life and reconnecting with the unconscious. Look me up on Facebook if you're interested. I look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday. Take care.